What's up, YouTubers? This is Mr. Reef Buster. Today's video will be the final part in curing the live dry rocks into live rock process, and also the aquascaping of my tank after the dry rocks have become live rock, and also another DIY project that I've done, which I forgot to tell you guys about. It was a last minute project and happened really quick, but I'm gonna show you guys the update on this tank so far. Now, last time you saw my tank, we were talking about aquarium heating and chilling, and I mentioned my dry rocks have been almost to the end of the process. It should be done in a week or so. Turns out they cured faster than I thought they would. So last week, a couple of days after I made that video, the cycling process finished and they were completely cured. I did the water test, made sure everything was where they should be, and soon after that, a couple of days ago, last Sunday, I decided to take the rocks out, the live rocks, put them into the tank, and also aquascape the tank while we're at it. And also had to move the tank, like I mentioned in my previous videos, that I'm gonna have to move the tank, and I moved the tank as well that same day. So it was a 5-hour process moving the tank, aquascaping the tank, setting up the new live rock into the tank and everything. It was very tiring for me and my fish and corals as well, but I'm ready to show you guys the end result. And when I zoom out, you're gonna see the new tank that I have made. Not so bad, could have been better, but I'm satisfied with the way the tank's looking right now with the new live rock in it. And I have spent more than 2 hours just positioning and repositioning these new rocks into the tank, and where each of them fit with each other. And also I use epoxy glue to put them to, make sure they stay together and not fall off. You always want to position your rocks, make sure they fit with each other, and for safety measures you want to epoxy or glue your rocks together so they don't fall off. Or they could fall off anytime if you don't glue them together, because let's say you're trying to set a coral onto the rock and then it falls off and it hurts your fish. Sometimes you never know, invertebrates, all that stuff. So right now it's more than 40 pounds of live rock in this tank, which is ideal, which is exactly what I should be having. And a couple of changes have been made. The other power head is back. That power head I was using to cure the dry rocks, now it's back in the tank, so my water flow is back to the way it should be. What else? Now I'm going to show you the aquascape at a closer look. We'll start from the left, work our way to the right, and the top and the back. I'll show you all around the tank so you get an exact idea what I did. Now, the reason this was so difficult for me is because my tank is already established. Now, most of you guys, what I recommend you do is you get the proper amount of dry rock or live rock, whatever you guys choose to go with, prior to setting up your tank. That means prior to cycling your actual tank. You want to ideally cycle your rocks and your tank and your substrate all together. You don't want to do it like the way I did. So this was a little harder for me, but it was worth it. I'm happy with the way it all came out. We'll start from the left, and I'll walk you guys through the whole tank. Now, these two rocks on the left are the older rocks. As you can see, the white rocks are the newer ones. The darker ones are the previous ones. So I set it up in such a way, I put levels on this aquascape, and because I'm gonna have different types of corals on this tank. Some will require higher power level and higher flow, some will require moderate, some will require low. For example, this colt, he doesn't like high flow and high light, so I had to put him all the way in the bottom. electric torch, he takes about medium, average, average flow, average par, average lighting. And the same with the Ganipora. They don't like too much flow, too much light, so medium. So put them right in the middle of this tank. So work our way up to from the left to the right. As you can see, I put some cliffs, so it goes up some height. So that's where I'm gonna put the corals that need more light and higher flow. Most likely the Acroporas are gonna go over there, or SPSs. Mostly the SPS is gonna go over there. And right over here, that's where the most light is. That's where the most of the flow is gonna be. Same with the right side, as you can see. That's where the Acroporas are gonna go. The SPSs, all those high flow, high par rated corals. Now, I have some shelves right here. Right, there's the shelf. I have a shelf right here. That's where I put the Ganipora. There's another shelf here. That's for another moderate level coral that I'm gonna be putting. I don't know what yet, but it's a blank canvas for me, and all I have to do is start adding corals, and the right ones. Now, when I was doing the Aquascape, a couple of things I had to make sure. One of the things that people forget is contact level of your live rock to the surface. The least amount of contact you have from your live rock to your substrate, the more they'll be effective. If you just lay your live rock flat on the ground or stack them on top of each other, just make it look like you're building a house, then it's not gonna work. You're just wasting the live rock, because the surface of the live rock needs to be in contact with the water at all times. The more water contact they have, the better they can do their job of natural filtration. And the more porous your live rock is, the better they are for your tank. Now, I made sure my live rocks had the least amount of contact with the sand substrate, because I want the water to flow all around my live rock so they could do their job properly. And also, another thing you have to keep in mind is you have to build lots of holes, lots of hiding places for your fishes, so they can, they need those. That's what they have in natural ocean. Lots of nooks and crannies. Some fishes will die if you don't give them enough hiding spots. They don't like to be exposed at all times. They don't like the lighting all times. They don't like the flow sometimes. So they need those caves and crevices. So that's what I try to do with my rock setup, and that's why it took me so long. Not to mention, I had half the water. I have about this much water in this tank while I was doing the whole aquascape. So it was basically half underwater while I was doing it. It was a hectic process, but I'm happy with it. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna do a walk around of this tank and show you guys exactly all the spaces I gave my live rock. Look, I put this little piece of live rock to make this space right here for this live rock. The least amount of contact. If you see my tank right now, you're gonna see the rocks are barely touching the substrate. I made sure there's enough nooks and crannies and crevices and holes for the water to pass through, not only but also the fishes that have something to go through. There's a lot of holes, a lot of spaces for my fishes to swim around, the water to go through. I mean, if you just stack the rocks on top of each other, you're gonna miss out on the effect. You're gonna miss out on what these rocks are supposed to do as a natural filtration. A lot of people I see on YouTube, they stack up their rocks such a way so back against the back wall is touching their back glass, and that's not good. You want to give the fishes space to go around your rocks, not just one dimension. You need to give it a 360, give them 360 access to your tank. So if you stack all your rocks up to the back of the tank, they only have space in the front. Some fishes like to be in the darker spots, like here when they sleep at night. That's where my fishes sleep at night, right there where the yellow dotty is. That's where they like to sleep, because it's less flow and there's less light. Because sometimes when the light goes off in the tank, the light in the room stays on, so they don't like it. They need to sleep, so they go behind the rocks. It's darker, they sleep. So let me know what you guys think of my aquascape. I doubt I'm gonna be doing any more aquascaping. This is gonna stay the way it is. No more rocks for me. This is enough. And all I have to do is just start adding corals. No more fish. I have enough. Actually, I have more than enough. And we'll go from here. From this point on, it's all about the corals and the reef, setting up the reef, start adding corals and everything. Now, to talk about part 2 of this video. In the beginning of this video, I told you guys about this DIY project that I kind of thought of at the last second and actually executed pretty quick. Is the canopy. Well, it's not canopy, it's actually the cover for the stand of this aquarium. I mean, if you saw my other videos, you know it's just the tank was sitting on black steel. What is it called? Black steel stand. So it's just basically 4 steel bars holding this tank up. There's no cover for it. Everything underneath the tank you could see. When I put the camera down, you saw what was underneath the tank. It was exposed. I had no cover for it. No cover for the stand or the canopy. I still don't have a canopy. I might do the canopy later on, but for now, all my priority was, since I moved the tank, it was in a location where you couldn't see the underneath of the stand. But since I moved it to a new location, the underneath of the stand was exposed, and everybody could see what underneath the tank. It was very messy. It's basically all fishing stuff, all the dirty part that behind the scene more stuff that's underneath the tank, and that was exposed. So I had to build a stand cover pretty quick. And I started looking on YouTube. I looked at Mr. DIY, King of DIY's video on how he made stand cover and canopy. So I took some of his ideas. He helped me understand how to make these things. So I thank King of DIY for that. And I did my own design, my own setup. And I made my own stand 2 days ago. It took me like less than a day. Not even that. It took me like, I'll say 3 hours to build this stand cover. And I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna show you guys the stand cover right now. There we go. This is my stand cover. This is completely removable, which means I could take this whole bottom part out and the stand inside it will be exposed. So nothing is fixed. If I need to, I could remove it anytime, and it goes along with the rest of the furniture. My mom made me paint it according to other furniture colors, so I wanted to do it black, but she didn't like it. But I'm happy with the way it came out. So it's one piece on the side right here, and then one piece on the other side, and these 2 pieces are connected by this wood right here in the middle. I'm gonna lift the cover up and show you guys how big the wood looks. So this is the only wood that's connecting the pieces on the either side of this tank. And let me open up the stand. And this is the cover. Initially, I wanted to do a slide up. That means this front cover will slide up and take the whole thing off. But I couldn't find the right instrument or tool to do it at Home Depot, so I had to go with the hinges. The hinge option. It's still not perfected. It's getting there. But the way this works is this whole thing comes open. And there you have the underneath of this tank. Now, you see this wood right here? This is the only wood holding up the 2. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding another same size wood on the bottom, just to make sure it stays, proper, doesn't break on me. Just for added caution. So there you go, guys. This is my stand cover. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out, considering it only took me 3 hours to make and paint. So I'm happy with it. And so there you go. This is my final tank setup. This is exactly how my tank will look from now on. And this point on is just about corals. So thanks for watching again, guys. Make sure you comment. Tell me what you guys think about my aquascape. What you guys think about the stand I made. If you need any help building your own, let me know. You can message me. Leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Appreciate all the subscription, the likes, the comment. And if I'm doing something wrong, if you see I did something wrong, let me know so I can correct myself in the future. And until next time, peace out, guys.